Alright. We've got the World of Final Fantasy event will be arriving on on Thursday, April 6th. And we get a single banner with the event. Clearly, since we don't have a whole lot of characters for it yet, then there isn't much they can populate these banners with. And since there are the only 2 characters, they actually start inputting characters that show up in the World of Final Fantasy game instead of sticking strictly to the game itself. So it's just this banner, so it makes it easy to go over. The 2 characters from the game are Lan and Rain. Lan is like a physical type spellblade, and Rain is more of like a summoner mage. Lan gets an OSB on the top of the banner, which unfortunately is a fist weapon that is realm synergy. Oh, I'm going to zoom in on this. Okay. Is realm synergy only fire fist, which stinks. And if it was just small fire damage up, just like his throne weapon, then I would probably be pulling on this banner, because a 169 base attack fire fist would be awesome. But since it appears in the World of Final Fantasy realm, which gets its own little category, which they're going to start putting other stuff into, it's like a miscellaneous category. Not core, but they're going to call it beyond. And because it is part of the beyond synergy, that makes this relic kind of awful. It's just a fist weapon with a bunch of attack. There's better places we can get these, I believe. Oh, by the way, Lan is called Lon. Yeah, Refia would love to have this fist weapon if it was fire damage up everywhere. And that is exactly why I would be pulling for it. But as for the overflow itself, 60% instant death, we don't care about this at all. Anything that we're going to be using this overflow on, that not completely true. I've used it in Torment on trash before. I've used overflows on trash before. But, yeah, I mean, what is this all about? What is this doing on this? Multiplier increases if Rain is in the party. I already am not a big fan of this, so I'm not sure what we're going to find out here, but I will go take a look at it and to see how big the multiplier really is. We have the Beyond Realm, and Lan's Mega Mirage Zantetsuken. Multiplier base is 12.6, so this is already higher than a normal. Wait a second, it has no element. What? It's a Realm Synergy Fire Fist, but it has no element? What? So this is quite possibly the worst overflow in the game. Who's worse than this? Is even Gilgamesh this bad? I mean, you have to have Rain in your party for it to have the 3.6. Yeah, I mean, reading it here, it doesn't say that either. I don't think this is an error. This is just bad. Oh no, Gilgamesh is, 13.2 is the multiplier if everyone's alive. That's a lot easier to hit than having Rain in your, Rain, I hope that's the way you pronounce her name, than having Rain in your party. But that 10.8 is pretty awful. Anyway, these are both bad. Moving on. We got Stacked Ifchi. The 2 does stand for small fire damage up. This is a thrown weapon. So this thing's actually pretty cool. And though we would have loved our Refia's to have access to this if it was fire damage up everywhere. This is, and Refia can use thrown weapons. So we got a good relic here. Really good relic. And let's see if the Burst Soul Break is as good. We got 6 AoE fire, end fire, burst mode. What are our burst commands? Single target and AoE. That's fine so far. Attack defense. I mean, that's cool. That's a dark bargain. Higher multiplier if exploiting elemental weakness or in peril. This is pretty basic but good. I like this command. Yeah, that's why I said, Sigma, that the fist does not, but the throne does. Yeah. I never like to rely on this. So, I don't know, it's kind of a... just nothing fancy going on here. But it is a good relic, and that relic, if the rest of the banner is good enough to warrant it, would be worth pulling if you need somebody that can, or if you have somebody that can make use of it, like the Refia that many of us pulled on Banner 3 of the festival. Next up, we have Stacked Bubliz. The 4 does stand for increased ice damage, all realms. That's really nice too, because plus ice damage relics are very difficult to find. And this would be excellent in the hands of somebody like ETA especially. Renoa can use it, but she's not a great user of this stuff so far. Her Burst Soul Break is really old and doesn't have much damage going for it. Eventually she gets a BSB2 that can make use of it, though. And she does get a Chain Soul Break, which can make use of it. But that's sort of distant in the future. So I'm not thinking of that. I'm thinking this belongs to ETA. So you've got ETA's Burst Soul Break. This is just as interesting as Lawn's is for the fire. Let's see the Burst Soul Break itself. Looks exactly the same, except it's magical instead of Lawn's physical. The commands, instead of having a Stitch in Time type command, where he has a Dark Bargain, she gets a self 25% max HP heal to single target, though, not AoE. So she has no AoE option on her burst commands. But the first command is exactly like his is, except for Ice Non-Elemental. I don't like this. Self 25%, if this was lowest member of your party, max HP 25%, this would be much, much better. But self is not useful. Because you're sacrificing a lot for only 2 single target, when you'd rather be using this for damage. This is panic mode, and it's not even that good because it's just herself. So we don't like this Burst Soul Break at all. Moving on, we have Sarah's. We've seen this before, and I'm a huge fan of this. We have the Luminous Robe, which is obviously a robe, and the 6 stands for small holy damage up, plus 20% holy damage on a robe. We already know that these stat 6 are really nice. It's one of the ones that has magic and mind on it, so it can be used by somebody like Sid Reigns to increase his magic when you're doing holy damage with him instead of his usual dark damage. And mind for offensive white mages, or if you're not even using the plus holy damage at all and you just want to use it on a white mage. The Soul Break itself is probably the best Soul Break on the banner. No, not even close. It is the best Soul Break on the banner. It's a Cura Medica Party Magic Blink. I believe it is the only healer burst that gives Party Magic Blink at the current time. Self Mind Res 30%. This is fine. I mean, I think recently I've come along and started loving the Mind 30% on even on pure healers like Sarah. Because it was so useful in the Nemesis fight for me with Vanille, because she gives herself a mind buff. And this is even better because it gives resistance too. What this mind buff does is it really just supercharges your heals once you get into burst mode. And Sarah is one of the better pure healer bursts because she has Kiraga high regen. I thought it was instacast. I'm going to verify that. If it's just Kiraga and high regen, then I'm not as high in this. But instacast would be so much better. Sarah, instacast. So that just isn't listed on the site. It is, this is 0.01 cast time. Kiraga, so it's not a Kiraja, but she does get the plus 30% mind on the entry, so it's still very strong regardless. And granting the high regen, we already know this is a very good command. And the second command is your typical healer Medica. This is easily the best burst on the banner, or the best relic on the banner. Best soul break, and we hope this shows up somewhere else, but if it doesn't, then this is the place to get it. So we have a couple relics so far, relic and burst, but this is dodgy, having an OSB, BSB, BSB be so bad. You really, in order to get your max potential out of this banner, you need to be able to take advantage of these two relics right now. Unless we find something in the Super Soul Break section that can push it over. And I'm not sure that we do. We get Lon, gets looks like a light armor, 17 attack, yep. 0 cast time, 8 single target, random physical, multiplier increases adversely. No, this is incorrect. Its multiplier does not increase. It acts as though you have higher attack. If anybody has something like Locke's Super Soul Break that says the lower health that you have, the higher attack you are treated as having when doing the Soul Break, or like Snow's Burst Soul Break. I think he has a command that does the same thing. That's very different from the multiplier being bigger, because if you are at the attack soft cap, that means that this doesn't increase the damage of this all that much. And you should be actively trying to reach the soft cap without relying on a weird Super Soul Break to get there for you. So this, despite being instacast, is not that good. Yeah, it's not good at all. The stun 100% isn't useful anymore, and this is a poor increase of the damage output of the weapon. Rain's Farna Skirt. 8. Small lightning damage up. That's interesting as a stat stick, because that is the second stat stick in the game, because it does a light armor that gives plus magic, behind Ash's Defiance, her light armor, of Ash's Burst Soul Break, that provides magic and plus lightning up. So this is actually kind of rare. Most of the plus lightning armors give plus attack, but not magic. There are no plus lightning bracers that we can rely on to give plus something to everybody. The Soul Break itself, 8 single target, party haste. I mean, it's a Heiska. It can only be so bad, right? At least it's not this. But this is again, this is showing that this is a relic banner, not a Soul Break banner. Chaos Rod is a great Medica, but it's just a Super Soul Break Medica. The thing is, Medicas are a bit rare in Final Fantasy X because Yuna's the only white mage that can use them. I'm saying this more for my sake than anybody else's, because I have no Medicas in Final Fantasy X, and a Chaos Rod would be really cool to me. Knight of Vetro model. This is one of the lightning light armors that I was talking about that gives plus attack. The 9 stands for plus 20% lightning damage, all realms. This is an AoE lightning soul break that gives her end lightning, which is fine. It's okay. Not great. Yoichi Bow. This is interesting. And really, this is such an awesome soul break. It's better than every single one of these super soul breaks. And it's on Ferris, who I can't talk up enough. Ferris is just a remarkable character and one of the best supports in the game. This 4 times AoE, you don't even care about the damage that it does. That's what the Soul Break signifies, is it's going to do really bad damage. It only has like a 4.2 multiplier or something. I'm not going to look it up because it's just bad. What you want this for is you want it on Ferris because she's awesome, and this attack magic 40% is one of the better debuffs in the game because it's a stacker on both of the offensive attributes of the enemy. A bunch of supports in the game have this. We have Goddess Bell on Gordon. We have Shatterheart on Fran. And it's one of the best things you can have on a support, like just budget, that turns them into something really great for practically peas and carrots. Yeah, so what do I think about this banner? I would like this. I don't really care about this that much. I would like this. I think I would like another magic thing, but I mean, that's not something I go searching for. I just hope it falls in my lap. This is just relics. This is awesome. This is one of the best healer bursts in the game. Junk, but relic. This can be useful to certain people, myself included, but most people probably won't think highly of this because Yuna does have a few medicas available to her. With her second burst, the Chaos Rod, which a lot of people probably rolled for on the 4th banner, the Festival, and her Hymn of the Forsaken, Hymn of the Faith. Yuna hasn't fallen from grace yet. And we have Yoichibo. It's a really one of those banners that you probably need to, you require these relics. Probably both of them. If you've got a Refia and an Edea burst, you're going to want these for them. And then you start looking at, do I want this? Or no, you want this if you don't have it. And then just really nice consolation down here. So that's the banner. I like this banner. I don't know if I can budget Mithril for it because I need to start saving now for some banners. I plan on putting some heavy Mithril down on into the near future. But it's one of those hit or miss banners. I'd like a lot of the stuff that appears on here, but at the same time, if I pulled something like anything belonging to land, the OSB, it is just stone cold useless to me. Even as a stat stick, it's not that useful. I guess you could make a case for it as a stat stick because a lot of monks can't use a whole lot of equipment. It just, in my specific scenario, I have Locks OSB, so having a dagger that has just like a couple less attack than this makes this just useless to me. So I won't be pulling on this, but I can totally make a case for some people that have specific relics, or specific relics for characters that would want to pull on this. There are the pieces here that could justify it. So let's move on to the event itself. Yeah, I am looking at the stat sticks, and that's not enough a reason for me to pull. If those soul breaks were worth carrying those characters around, then okay. If those 2 bursts, that I like the stat sticks but not the bursts, it really would have helped me out, but I can't make a case for it. So we're gonna look at the U+. I mean, I guess we'll look at the U+ and the U. There isn't even a U++. This is going to be an easy event. We can just see that right now. I mean, he's weak to lightning. Exploit his attack or his weakness to lightning. Reduce attacks, defense. So yeah, this event's going to be a softball. Odin uses Gungnir on his first turn, so be prepared with a Protecka. An attack on his next 2 turns. He uses Zantetsuken on his 6th turn, default phase, blah 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 blah. He's actually mostly casting spells at you, so you actually, I mean, there's nothing special you need to do to prepare for this fight, and that's what the point of these previews are for. So this is definitely going to be a short preview. There's really just nothing going on here. The multiplayer, I'll carry everybody through it that needs to be carried.